Welcome to the History, Human Rights, and Power of One podcast. My name is Kenneth B. Morris Jr. On this day in history, November 19th, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address, redefining the Civil War from a political struggle to a moral reckoning. In just 272 words, Lincoln challenged a divided nation to rise to its founding ideals of liberty and equality. Standing on the hallowed grounds of Gettysburg, where over 51,000 soldiers had fallen, he framed their sacrifice as essential to preserving a government of the people, by the people, for the people. During this turbulent time, Lincoln forged a powerful partnership with Frederick Douglass, my great-great-great-grandfather. Together, they blended the moral clarity of advocacy with the strategic power of governance to advance justice and liberate millions of enslaved people. Their collaboration reshaped history and laid the groundwork for America's unending struggle toward equality. Today, Lincoln's words resonate with even greater urgency. In a polarized and fractured climate, we grapple with leadership that often lacks the moral conviction and unifying vision Lincoln exemplified. Where Lincoln called us to our highest ideals, too much of our modern rhetoric deepens division and undermines trust. Frederick Douglass reminded us, without struggle, there is no progress. His belief in justice, honesty, and virtue underscores a critical truth. The life of a nation is only secure when its people strive for integrity at every level of society. Lincoln's address was a call to remember the fallen and an appeal for unity. He urged Americans to dedicate themselves to the unfinished work of creating a more perfect union. But unity doesn't mean avoiding conflict or ignoring differences. It means finding common ground in shared values. Douglass exemplified this spirit, advocating tirelessly for justice while recognizing the humanity of even those who opposed him. We must remember the examples of Lincoln and Douglass as we confront challenges that threaten to tear us apart. The legacies of both men demand that we rise above division and commit to building a future rooted in shared purpose. For me, this work is deeply personal. As a descendant of Frederick Douglass, I feel a profound responsibility to carry my great ancestor's legacy forward. He believed that each individual has the power to enact change, whether by voting, organizing, educating, or simply standing up for what is right. His words remind us that power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. Democracy thrives on engagement. It demands active participation from each of us to ensure liberty and justice endure. The Gettysburg Address and Douglass's advocacy remind us that progress requires courage, determination, and the collective power of individuals united in a common cause. So today, let us honor the legacies of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, not as distant echoes of the past, but as calls to action for the present. Let us dedicate ourselves to the unfinished work of justice and equality, ensuring that the promise of government, of the people, by the people, for the people, endures for generations. Thank you for listening to History, Human Rights, and the Power of One. Let's carry this legacy forward together. Subscribe to stay connected and join the conversation.